As rolling blackouts have become a crushing reality in South Africa, their effects are becoming increasingly evident. And it's not just the economy, but also people's health. Households have had to adapt to more than 6 hours a day without electricity, which more often than not disrupts the preparation and storage of food. And according to the Tiger Brand Foundation, this influences people's food choices. For more on this, let's bring in the Foundation's regional coordinator, Kefilwe Mokoena. Kefilwe, thank you so much for your time. Just from my own experience, I can very much imagine that South Africans right across the country are reaching more for fast food options because cooking and storing food, it's just become a real nightmare with load shedding as it is at the moment. What have you been able to gather about South Africa's trends at the moment in terms of fast food consumption?
Again, good evening to your viewers. Definitely, there's changed. If you look at how people used to do things previously, you would buy your grocery, you'd buy meat, cut it in small portions and put it in a deep freezer so that you know that it will last you for the next 3 weeks to 4 weeks. People are slowly getting rid of that because, you buy meat today, then 2 days after there's a 6 hour, level 6, where there's load shedding and all the food is spoiled. So we see this culture that more and more people now are beginning to say, it's either I buy food, fast food, chips, or a full chicken and eat it as a family, rather than buying food which is become spoiled in the next few days. And you'd also note that South Africa in itself, we are not immune from being one of the I would say obese or unhealthy countries in terms of our culture. That majority of women, according to the BMI, which is body mass index, 68% of them are deemed to be obese or overweight, with 31% being men. So really, this is now beginning to participate. Load shedding is beginning to infiltrate even, our daily or cultural usage of how we used to deem food and to buy food in stores.
So, while adults are mostly making these fast food choices, it's the family and especially children as well that have to live with the consequences. What are we likely to see in coming years in terms of childhood obesity?
And the painful part about this, or the sad part rather about this, is that already you've got 27% of children in this country being, either deemed stunted or obese. Or if you look in Gauteng in particular, it has about 34.2% of children being stunted. So it really tells you that because of the decisions that are taken by parents, children are suffering. But to an extent, you can't blame parents in this instance. I'll give you an example. The foundation works in some of the most vulnerable communities. If you think about Alexandra, for example, you think about Ashton, for example, these are some of the communities that are deeply run by poverty. So if a parent is a security or is a teacher or any other profession, they have to knock off at work, let's say at 4 o'clock. They arrive at home at 6 o'clock. There is load shedding between 5 and 10 o'clock. What is the parent left with to do as an alternative? So parents then begin to say, do I not feed my kids, or do I buy, fast food? And then that's why you see a lot of our malls being packed, drive-throughs being packed with this chain burger, USA, companies, because that is seen as the quicker mechanism to provide for parents. Women are beginning to so because parents have had to take a decision. It seems at this time they don't have an option. Remember, many of us cannot afford to buy a generator or an inverter, so we really are left with little space to move around.
Absolutely. Very difficult situation for parents making those hard decisions as well. Let's talk about how load shedding has impacted the National School Nutrition Program. I can only imagine that many schools are unable to provide meals that would normally be part of that program due to load shedding impacting them as well.
Yeah, definitely. If you think about it, the National School Nutrition Program, which the government provides lunch to children, I think about 9 million children every day get to eat lunch. And with the Tiger Brands Foundation, what we are trying to do now is that we are already also providing more than 74,000 kids on all 9 provinces daily breakfast. The challenge now becomes, one is that as some of the food handlers, the list that are preparing meals are coming to school, it's already too dark for them. Some of them are marked as crime. That's the first one. The second one is that already the school is stuck, so there's not so much to use in terms of, preparing the meals. But luckily with our kitchens, we've now decided that, instead of focusing on electric utensils, we rather now use gas stoves. So our food handlers, they put hot water using pots on gas stoves, because really there's nothing to do. If we were to wait for the issue of energy to be sorted out, I think many of our kids would go home with an empty stomach. And so we are very fortunate that at least now we're able to prepare hot nutritious meals for children on a daily basis. Now relying on gas. In fact, if you go to other provinces such as the Eastern Cape, and to an extent now we've alleviated one of the last schools in Mpumalanga, they were rather using fire, because that's what they know, because they cannot rely on South African energy, and it's quite a challenge indeed.
Kefilwe, so that's 95 schools who are benefiting from the Tiger Brand Foundation's breakfast program, but there's hundreds of thousands of schools who are not part of that program, and a very difficult situation that South Africans find themselves in. If we're very realistic, the energy crisis is not going to be solved quickly, so we're going to have to, face facts that load shedding is probably here to stay in some form or other for a couple of years to come. So how do South Africans make better choices in the face of soaring food prices? There really are very little options open to them. It seems we have lost our connection with Tiger Brand Foundation's regional coordinator, Kefilwe Mokoena. Very thorny issue, that load shedding not only impacting the economy, but impacting South Africans' health as they make food choices necessitated by lack of electricity.